Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where we interview CEOs, business owners, marketing people, whoever else I feel like. 4 questions, 8 minutes and 8 seconds, because 808 looks like Bob. And here we go. Question number 1. Few sentences. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Bob, hi, I'm Dave Shepard. I'm the EVP of Sales and Marketing for Cloud Admin. I live in San Diego. I've been at technology for about 20 years or so. Cloud Admin is a cloud cost optimization tool that works with Amazon and Azure Cloud. We're a San Francisco-based startup. We will soon be in VMware and Google. I will tell anybody who listens that every buck they spend with us, they'll save about $20.
Love it. Right
That's
to
who
the
we are.
point. That is awesome. Question number 2, David, what advice would you like to share? Go.
Yeah, so a couple of things. My first bit of advice for anybody selling in technology, especially in technology, is understand, to whom you're selling and why in the heck they want to buy from you. That's very important for a couple of reasons, and it has to do with point number 2. But the great sin of technology sales is that we believe so hard in our product that we can't wait to blow the customer away with our new cool thing, regardless of how it impacts or doesn't impact their business. And I'll give you a few examples. I've been in the data center business for a number of years, building from scratch, rebuilding data centers, building data center teams. Every data center rep, with almost no exceptions, wants to wait for the customer to stop talking so you can ask them, okay, how much space and power do you need? That's
Right.
the answer to the question that they need to have happen. Their customers are not after that question. Their customers want to know why in the heck would I want to do business with, XYZ data center. That's super important. Every server guy wants to sell you new servers. Every storage guy will tell you that whatever storage problem you have can be solved with 2 to 4x the storage you have. And software guys like me, we're very convinced that our new software is the hotness. And if you would just stop talking, Mr. Customer, and listen to us, you would eventually give up and buy because we keep talking. And that's just
Right.
it's not good. Point number 2, right? Be respectful at all times of time. At Cloud Admin, we have worked our pitch down to end 30 minutes or less. That is, from hello, Mr. Customer, who are you? Some intro on the customer, intro on us, a live demo to the end, 25, 26 minutes. It's really important that customers see that they can get some value from you quickly. And it's also parenthetically, it's a lot easier to wedge in a half-an-hour call than a 1-hour call in anybody's schedule, right? The last point I want to make is, be respectful of your customer's uniqueness. Tony Robbins would call that matching and marrying, right? It'll pay off. My example of that is, long time ago, I was selling technology. I was selling into a newspaper, and I got to the GM of the newspaper. That was the guy who was going to do it. Could not get a hold of him. He wouldn't meet me in my suit and tie and bag, needing an hour to talk to him and do a PowerPoint slideshow. So I got a hold of his assistant, and I said, give me 10 minutes with the guy. Put me on his calendar at 3:50 in the afternoon next Thursday, right? Come next Thursday, I show up looking just like him, right? I have my tie askew, my sleeves are rolled up, I'm in running shoes, and he comes out and meets me in the lobby. He goes, I had to meet the guy that would set a face-to-face meeting for 10 minutes at 3:50 in the afternoon. And he goes, follow me. I had a single business card, a notepad, and a pen. And we tore around his newsroom for a whole hour with him barking orders at everybody and eventually giving me the order. It was the longest 10-minute meeting I ever had in my whole life. Good thing I wore track shoes. And I got it because I looked like him, and I was respectful of who he was.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, one thing I want to go back to is the part where you mentioned, don't show all the features. Is I know all of us are so proud of the engines of the cars we make. Someone coming on a lot just wants to know, will it go fast?
Right.
That's it. I want to go fast. Now, if they start asking engine stuff, obviously answer it. But I was like, I want it in red. I want it at this speed. Okay, that's what it is there.
It is about, who you're talking to. Is it an engineer? He's going to want to know speeds and feeds. But, to a CFO, your technology is he wants the car to go to the store to get milk. That's what he needs to do. Right. If you're trying to build him a freight train to go to the store to get milk, you're wasting his time, and it'll cost too much.
Exactly there. Let's get to question number 3. It is time for shout outs. David, who are you shouting out?
Shout out to Pal Ginitz, our CEO and founder, my business partner, and my best pal, Mike Perino, who's the CEO of managing partner at CEO Resources, a very, very good guy, been in tech and business forever, and a former guitar player in my band.
Awesome. I'll look them up here. Number 4, final fun question. And you did talk about it a little bit, so you might want to talk a little more, but tell me about your first sale.
So this is my first big one. I got out of the Air Force and my resume looked like, goes fast, blows stuff up, has an MBA, right? Trying to get job with that. So I went to work for Lockheed Martin, and we had a big deal. We were late to the party with Edwards Air Force Base. Our big competitor was already there. They were taking the guys to Vegas. They were taking them out to dinner. They were taking their wives to Vegas, taking them to golf. I show up and I'm going to go up there on a Hail Mary with my 8 guys, and we're going to drive up from San Diego to Edwards Air Force Base. And I'm like, you know what? I got an idea. At the time, I could fly the King Air, so I rented a Beechcraft King Air, flew my whole crew up there, told the colonels and generals, please meet me at the tarmac at the transient apron at Edwards. And these guys are like, okay, what's this about? We pull up exactly on time to the minute in a plane we flew there in ourselves to talk with a bunch of pilots. We got the deal. So I blew so much money on the airplane that we had to go to the base cafeteria, but we got the deal anyway. Because we, again, back to matching and mirroring, those guys understood that we understood the flying business.
Right. Love it there. You have 1 minute and 52 seconds left. You can do some promo time. You can ask me a question. You can talk about the weather, whatever you want, or we can end early. Go for it, David.
Cloud Admin is a very, very clever technology. We use AI-based software to go in and see the very, very best way you can optimize your cloud spend. 2.5 years ago, Pal Ginietz was smart enough to hire me to run his sales. And 2.5 years ago, there were 180,000 different ways in just Amazon to choose a server instance, right? 2.5 years hence, there were 500,000 ways to buy a virtual server in virtual space and run on Amazon. There's no way a human being can possibly pick the right one all the time for their business. Our business is kind of like, think of hiring 50 sysadmins with 3 years experience. They're not geniuses, but they never take breaks. They never go to the bathroom. They never let up. And they constantly think of nothing else but trying to tune your cloud spend. We've worked with companies that spend, will repurpose their IT 2 days a week or 2 days a month to just try and find those cloud costs. And every time we do that, we blow that into the water. We want to help anybody who will listen to try and save money on cloud. It saves jobs, saves companies. It's been good fun.
Love it there. You pulled it off. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. David, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Because 808 looks like Bob.
It does. Your website, say it real quick.
Cloudadmin.io.
In the description, it's magic. David, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Wag a finger.
Yeah, there we go. And for everyone else watching or listening, I'm legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck the social media network tells you to do. You all have a wonderful day now. Talk to you later. Bye.